Good day, we are here at TMP channel 207 News and we will be talking about AP Capstone.
AP Capstone consists of two different AP courses known as AP Seminar and AP Research. They take 2 years to complete these two courses. The program is meant to enhance the student skills in research, collaboration, analysis, evidence-based arguments, presenting, writing, and also they serve to complement other AP courses by using these skills. Additionally, if you pass the AP Seminar and AP Research exams, you're able to receive the AP Capstone Diploma. Well, if you pass 4 additional AP courses, but if you only pass the AP Research and AP Seminar, you get the AP Seminar and AP Research Diploma. The team multimedia presentation, also known as the TMP, consists of the individual research reports that each group member does when they do their research. They have to identify a problem and put it in a bigger context so it fits university around the world, or it contributes to a bigger problem. In the research, they have to identify a solution as well as the limitations to solve the problem they have identified.
So AP Seminar consists of 3 main components. These are the individual research report, which comes along with the team multimedia presentation, and the second is the individual written argument, which comes with the individual multimedia presentation, and the oral defense is 2 questions. And the final component is the end of course final exam, which consists of 3 short answer questions and 1 long essay question.
Welcome back. Right now we'll give some advice on how to do good on team multimedia presentation. First off, you gotta be considerate of who you choose. Sometimes your friends may not be the best option as they could be distracting and not get the work done. Once you choose a group, you gotta make sure that you guys coordinate as a team. This is so you can actually get your work done and be as efficient as you can. Also, you gotta make sure you have to make your own sections, because sometimes the teacher can't keep up with all the groups or isn't really allowed to help you guys out and keep you guys in check. Also, for the presentation itself, you gotta make sure the slides aren't filled up with words and text. You gotta make it short and sweet, so just add pictures in a simple word or something like that. Additionally, you guys should research together, and this will allow you to make a coherent and very good presentation so it could flow and be efficient as it should be. One final thing is that you guys should establish norms and respect each other and communicate very well. Don't be a peer that brings others down, and work together so you guys can do the best job with the team multimedia presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan Hernandez. Now I want to talk about the academic skills that is needed for a team multimedia presentation. The skills that are needed for a team multimedia presentation is communication, so that everyone can be in contact and know what time of day that they can work on the presentation. Another skill is staying on task. When we stay on task, the group members are able to finish all parts of the presentation on time without having any time management difficulties. Another skill that is needed is professionalism. They should look professional when presenting because they need to project their voice so that the audience can hear on what they are saying. With professionalism also comes the presentation skills like projecting their voice, eye contact, and hand gestures. Also, another skills that is needed for the team multimedia presentation is credibility of the source. The source needs to be credible so that they are able to convey the most convincing and plausible solutions that will help you score the max amount of points. Personal skills plays a very important part of the team multimedia presentation. The skills that is needed for the team multimedia presentations are time management and communication. Time management is a very important role of the team presentation because everyone needs to know when they can meet up and when to film a certain part of a project, and that they can choose what part to film. Time management can also help students and groups to organize and create some time for them to work on their projects. Another skill that is also needed for a team multimedia presentation is communication. Communication can help people and peers to tell one another when to meet up and what time to meet up and what exact place they can go at. And also, communication can help peers tell one another on what to work on, and so that they can get the job done and the project done very well.
Now I'm going to talk about the TMP presentation score weight. So the TMP presentation is worth 10% of your grade, and although that may not seem like a lot, it is still important that you try your best on this component since it is really easy to score the maximum amount of points. In the TMP presentation rubric, there are 5 rows. The first row being establishing an argument, and in order to score the maximum amount of points in this row, it is important that you find good evidence, strong evidence to support your claim and your solution, since that will be the most important part of your presentation. And the second row being understanding and analyzing the context of the situation, which is the problem that you're gonna choose. It is important that You use your evidence to support your pros and your cons. It is important to look at both sides so you don't look biased in your presentation. In a low scoring presentation, you don't look at the cons, you probably just look at the pros or vice versa. Rule number 3 is engaging the audience with your performance. So it is important that you use a variety of strategies like hand gestures, eye contact, and having a loud and clear voice. This is important because you will be filmed as a presentation and they must be able to hear you, and you gotta look professional. So in a low scoring presentation, you don't use these strategies, or not everybody uses these strategies, so it is important to practice and everybody uses these strategies. Role 4 of the rubric is engaging the audience with design. So it is important that your design is professional so that it conveys your message clearly, and the image is also to be professional in order to also add on to your presentation. The last row is the collaborative reflex. So in the TMP, you'll be asked a question each, and it is important that you thoroughly answer this question. So it's not a problem if you have to think about it for a second during the presentation. So everybody needs to be able to answer this question like thoroughly. So you should practice beforehand so you don't have to score it on this row.
Good afternoon, I am Uriel Mendoza. I am here with Mario. Mario, what are your thoughts on the AP Seminar course overall? Any concerns or interesting thoughts?
Overall, AP Seminar course, I thought was pretty interesting because when I first went into this class, I actually didn't know much. I actually thought it would be like old seminars in 9th grade where we're just going to do like fun projects and all that, but now AP Seminar, they bumped that up where now it's more rigorous. You actually have to put more thought into your work and like the amount of research that you do.
Hello, I'm here with Vanessa, who will be answering some questions about the AP Seminar course questions. Are you feeling confident on the team multimedia presentation components?
Yeah, I think the team multimedia presentation part was like my strongest component. I think we did really good in that one, especially like my paper and stuff, but like with my team and stuff, I felt more confident while I was presenting.
Did you feel that you and your peers did a good job on the team multimedia presentation?
Yeah, because we worked on it together and we practiced and rehearsed the presentation the night before and everything. So we felt like more prepared, and like being up there with like your friends and stuff, it's like it gives you more confidence.
So my experience in AP Seminar with the team multimedia presentation was overall good and really fun, especially because I got to work with my teammates Uriel, Chimil, and Juan. It is important that you choose really good teammates who are going to be able to work productively with you and are not going to distract you the whole time. It's also important to choose people that you know because you're going to have to meet each other sometimes. You might have to plan stuff out and work together outside of school, which would be very beneficial if you could do that. It is also important that you have good chemistry, I guess, because you can't work with somebody that like you don't really like talk to.
After working with my group for the team multimedia presentation, we did good overall because we got our presentation done. We presented very well. We got some credible sources off JSTOR and EBSCO that our AP Seminar teacher recommended. And overall, it was a pretty good experience because I was able to communicate very well. And overall, when communicating with people, you have to be like on task so that you could get the job done. And you have to do the presentation all late because once you're doing your presentation all late, it's going to be very difficult for you guys to think because it's going to be stressful and hard at the same time. So it's just best to do everything on time instead of just slacking off.
My name is Juan and I recommend this class because it taught me a lot of skills on how to find reliable sources and be able to use those sources to create an effective argument.
So AP Seminar is a class that isn't really that difficult to achieve what you're supposed to do, but the components could take a long time and it takes a lot of effort to do, like the TMP. You have to coordinate really good with your teammates in order to accomplish a good job in the actual presentation. if you don't coordinate with them, it could lead to a lack of success in the actual TMP. Also, the research is really extensive. It requires a lot of information that you had to gather over the weeks that you research. So yeah, the TMP itself was probably the easiest component. If your team does not coordinate for the team presentation, it could lead to many bad things. The research itself will just be bad and it will make your presentation look very bad. And when you're up there presenting, you guys may not be able to coordinate well and intervene when you guys are actually presenting. This could affect the whole scoring, as it has to show that you guys were able to collaborate, and if you guys didn't really coordinate, you guys aren't collaborating. And as well for the defense questions, they have to show collaboration between the TMP people, the people part of your group, and if you're not able to show that, it will bring down your score significantly. So coordination is key to pass or do good in the TMP. Yeah.